He would get up this morning. It would be a different day today than it has been in the past. It would be sadly the same as many, many years. He's lived this way for a long, long time. And he'll get up in a shed that his relatives allowed him to stay in. A shed out back, not a nice shed, but a place that's comfortable. He's out of the sight of his family, so they don't have to deal with him, but at the same time, we got to take care of him. He's family, and he's got a problem. He's got a problem, and he's never going to be able to get past it. He believes it to be an eternal problem. A situation, something that has happened in his life that will never, ever change. And he'll get up and he'll stumble and he'll work his way through the shed, and he's got to get to the place where he can do what he's always done year after year. He has to get to that spot where he will beg for money. And he will go there and he will sit with all the other beggars, all the others that are blind, invalid, and he will sit there year after year doing this. But today's a little different because it's Passover. So many people are moving from the outer country and they're moving their way along the pathways and the trails that go to Jerusalem. So today will be different. There'll be more people today at this spot. I need to get there. Maybe today there'll be more people who will show me mercy. Not every day do I receive mercy. There's really difficult days. When you go and you ask people to give you mercy, and you're more of a nuisance than you are anything else. And instead of getting mercy, you get shunned. So he knows he has to get up. He has to get in his place and his position. But what if somebody does have mercy and possibly somebody gives him something today that will help him? To fill his cup with some money that can help him at least try to sustain the life that he's living. But he will wrestle through the house and he will be extremely angry with himself because he didn't put his cup and his cloak in the spot that he always does. And he'll get up, and in the darkness, the eternal darkness of his blindness, he will sit there and he'll be frustrated, extremely frustrated. This will... I take 10 steps and I follow the wall and I go to the left and I put my hand 2 feet over, 2 steps, and then right there's my cup and my cloak. And I got to get those because I've got to get to where I need to be, or it's going to be a long week and I'm going to go hungry. And I'm frustrated because last night I was so tired I didn't put the cup in the right spot. I didn't put the cloak there. And now I got to scramble. And if I don't get out there and hopefully somebody will show me mercy, then it'll be a difficult week for me. And so he starts to panic a little because in the darkness there's so much fear when you don't know where you have to go or what you have to do. And in that fear, he will rustle and he'll be knocking things over until finally he gets the cloak. And finally he gets his cup. The two comforting and sustaining items that keeps him moving forward in life. And he will grab those, and then he will hurry as best he can out the door, and he has to take 125 steps this direction right down the path, and he'll bump into a tree, and then he'll go to the right, and then he'll get on the main pathway, and he'll sit there, and if he's lucky, it depends on how many people go by, who will show him mercy. He will ask, I need to get to the spot where all of the beggars are. Would you allow me to follow you? Because I can't get there by myself. I can't get there. And I need, if you would allow me and travelers are going by, would you lead me to the spot where I can beg for the rest of the day? And he will wait for somebody to show mercy that will either lead him or hold his hand, or at least let him get behind them and listen to the tracks of their footsteps or their donkey, so he can follow his way until he hears all of the other people that he's connected with that live the same life. They're continually living on the roadside. They become a family. They're a homeless society, if you will. And they're friends, and they work together, and they will sit there together, and there's a bunch of them, and everybody in town, everybody going from Jericho to Jerusalem knows when you hit this spot, it's going to be, Home Depot and Applebee's, and there's going to be somebody there with a cardboard sign, and they're going to be begging. And you'll either walk to the other side of the road, or you'll feel merciful that day, and you'll give them something. And he will sit there hours and hours holding a cup out, hoping that someone will show him mercy. And he will sit there, and there will be times where, you learn to see with your ears. You learn or see what's going on in the hearts of people through years. You can do that. He can tell the voice that walks up that's going to play a practical joke. He can tell the kids who are going to come up, and they're going to throw a rock in his cup, and it's going to make a tingling sound, and he's going to reach in there, and he kind of already knows in advance that they're kind of making fun of me, and this is not going to be a coin. And he will hold on, pushing through the hurt and the help of the day. He'll have to navigate emotionally those two items. And he will sit there, moving around, and if he's lucky, he has a cripple friend next to him who can see but can't move, and the two can begin to work together. And the crippled man can tell him what he sees, and the blind man can tell him what he's hearing in their voice, because he hears really well. He discerns the hearts of those that are coming by, those who are showing mercy and those who don't. And they're sitting there, and the traffic is going by, and he grabs his cloak, and it's twofold. It keeps him warm, and it also becomes the item on which he has to sit on all day long, and he'll put his cup right in the middle in case they spill the change, because it'd be so difficult to find the coins in the rocks. And so he will, if it spills out of the cup, he'll be able to move his hands around the cloth to feel the lost coin, and hopefully nobody will grab it before he does, because he's blind and he won't be able to see it. And he will turn around and he will work his way as he gets something, and he will have to get a drink of water, and he'll get up and he doesn't know where he's going, and he's asking somebody to lead him, and then he will bump into somebody, and then he'll boy, this guy's handsome right here, amen. And he will say, I'm so sorry, sir. I just need a drink of water. There's so many people, there's so much noise, I can't get to the little river spot where we go. Could you help me get a drink of water so I can get back in line? And he'll struggle to get his way back. But the devastating part is not the rejection as much, or the help and the disparity between the two. The difficult part will be this. Every day, people go past me. Every day, they have this life and this purpose, and they're going somewhere. And the finality of me never moving forward is more hurtful than anything else. It's the eternalness of the blindness. Everybody around me experiences night and day. I don't experience night and day. I experience night all the time. I don't know the difference. And as I sit here and hear the footsteps, as he hears the footsteps of everybody going somewhere, his greatest desire is that he could go somewhere. But he's trapped to these two things. Something happened in his life where he became blind, and these become the two comforting items that will keep me in one place my whole life. but they'll keep me alive. But I'll be so hurt as I listen to the little kids go by with their parents, and they're excited about going to Jerusalem, and it's their first Passover, and they're going to remember what our history, and they're going to talking about what they're going to see in the city of Jerusalem, and they're going to go to the Temple Mount, and I will not be able to see any of those. And over 3 years, he will sit there, and on these 3 years, he'll keep hearing as people walk by, because he lives his life vicariously through those who walk by, and he hears the stories, and people are walking by, and they're talking about this guy named Jesus of Nazareth. He's been running around for the last 3 years in these parts, and he's healing people, and he's teaching like nobody ever else taught. He's performing miracles. Some say he walked on water. Now, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. He walked on water. He's caused waves to stop. The stories are getting so big, I'm not even sure which ones are real and which ones are not. But I do know this. When I was a child, they taught me about the ways of the Old Testament, and that there was a man coming, and his name would be the Messiah. He would be called the Son of David, the Messiah. To use that phrase in this culture, in this time that he's living, would be to declare somebody walking by as the next king of the world. You would not say that very openly, or you could get into a lot of trouble. Your life could be threatened. You could be killed if you were to start declaring you or somebody else was that person, because that's just not a phrase that you use out loud without getting in a lot of trouble. The Roman government doesn't want any other kings to come by and take over their country. But he's heard about it. And somewhere in sitting there as people go by, he's heard people weeping about their daughter that was dead, and he brought them back to life. He may have heard Mary and Martha talking about Lazarus being raised from the dead. And he heard all of this stuff about this man named Jesus. All of this is in his heart. And he sits here wondering, what would I ask him if he were to walk my way? What would I ask him? I could only dream of the moment that he would come. And then I'm not sure what I'd ask for. If he can really do all the things he says he can do, what would I ask him? It's kind of silly to have this thought or even think this way. I'm in a sea of beggars. There's a bunch of us here. We're so loud. People don't like us. People don't want to hear from us. They walk on the other side of the road. What are the chances of a Jesus of Nazareth coming by? And then if he did, what are the chances that he would listen to me? In this crowd, I'm not the guy that he probably would listen to. Everybody's going to be screaming for him. But what would I ask if he did? And he sits there, and one day, Jesus comes by. And you can imagine he's been sitting there all day, holding out his cup. People have dropped in some money. And he's waiting, and he's thinking, man, this could be a good day, because there's a lot of people going to the Passover, and they've got money on hand because they're going to the temple. They got to buy, the sacrifices, and they got to do all that stuff. So this could be a good day. And then what would I ask Jesus? Well, what if I asked Jesus, what if he gave me like 3 years worth of income? Man, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be awesome. I could take my buddy who's lame. We could buy a cart. I could push it, he could sit in it, he could tell me which way to go, and I'll be the legs and he can be the eyes. It would be great. Or what if I just asked for a new home, or maybe I should keep it small. Maybe I don't deserve mercy, so maybe I ought to shrink down my requests. Maybe just a new cloak, 1 year's worth of money, and maybe a new cup, because this one's is chipped, it's old, it's broken. And if I'm going to stay here the rest of my life, I've got to ask for what I think I need so I can stay where I'm at. And so all of a sudden, the moment comes. All these people are going by, and there's people yelling out the name Jesus, and he's heard about him for the last 3 years through traffic going by and through really all the rumors going through the rumor mill, especially with all the beggars who sit there, and all they have in their life is what they've heard, and they share the stories with each other, and that's their entertainment. And all of a sudden this guy's coming by. His name is Jesus, and he's coming by, and we're all sitting there, we're all just going, hey, have mercy on me, have mercy on me. And you're hoping that somehow somebody will look at you and give you mercy when the guy right next to you needs mercy too. But he looks, you want him to look past him and give you mercy and give you something, but you like this guy and you want him to have mercy too, and maybe even you cut a deal with him. Dude, we'll work together, I'll share half because this just isn't right, but it's what I got to do. And I'm stuck. Have you ever felt stuck? Have you ever felt like something happened in your past and you're eternally stuck? And it's that stuck feeling that hurts more than everything else, that I can't get on this road and go wherever these people are going. And it clicks in his head what he would ask for Jesus. And lo and behold, they're coming by, and as usual, they're all screaming, mercy on me, mercy, mercy. And he tries to stand. He says, mercy, please, mercy. And he falls because he can't see, and there's so many people, and he's in a crowd. He has no idea. He said, mercy, mercy, please, mercy. Just something, could you give me something? And it says that they went to him, and imagine an old rough voice come up and say, listen, you stay out of the way. You're supposed to stay on the side of the road. Don't get in the middle of the road. You're making too much noise. You need to sit down. And he just decides in that moment, listen, this may never come again. And he begins to scream. And he doesn't scream Jesus of Nazareth. Everybody knows Jesus of Nazareth. He says, Son of David, have mercy on me. Son of David, the Messiah, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the one who does all the healings, the one that I've heard about, all those stories that I believe in my heart, the one who gets the unstuck, King of David, have mercy on me. And somehow in this crowd of beggars, Jesus' ears perks up, because this is Jesus' walk towards the cross. It's in this moment that he is the light of the world to those in darkness, and his final chapter and act in this purpose that he's been called to will nail him to a cross that all men might see the light and move out of their darkness. And he comes by and he hears this one voice out of all the other voices. And he tells the disciples and the followers, he says, hey, leave that guy alone. Bring him to me. Bring him to me. And so they go, really? If we bring him, all of them are going to want to come. And we know how you work. We got to get to Jerusalem. We're kind of on a fast track. We really need to get there. Passover's happening. We might lose our hotel. Can we just go, Jesus? He goes, no, I want you to bring that guy to me. And they go, yeah, but listen, if we bring him, all the others are going to rush, and everybody's going to be screaming, they're going to give mercy. Let's all jump in. It's going to go crazy. Bring the guy to me. And the guy with the really gruff voice that says, shut up and get off the road, he comes back with the same gruff voice, and he says, cheer up, the Son of David wants to see you. And he sits there and he goes, I still know you're that mean guy with the gruff voice trying to act nice, and you ain't that nice. But I don't care about you. I'll push back you, and I won't let you hurt my feelings so badly that I can't get to the Savior. So I don't care who you are. And he gets up, and here's what he does. Immediately, he's already decided in his heart what he's going to do, and he takes the two things that sustain his life, that bring comfort. Have you ever had something that you use to manage your situation? You ever been in a spot where you're stuck and you go, I'm stuck, I feel like this is eternal, I will limp into the finish line of life, and these are the two things that are going to get me there, and it'll never change. It's probably the most horrible feeling you'll ever have. You know, he had a physical blindness, but we all have spiritual blindness. We've all done something so stupid we thought, I'm an idiot. I've ruined my life. My past choices define who I am for eternity. I can never be good again. I'm a beggar stuck and I can never move forward. And then you will find a way to medicate the pain and manage your comfort and just say, I'm just going to sit here, hoping that somebody will show me mercy. And it says that when they walked over to him, he immediately goes, I don't need these things anymore. And can you imagine a blind guy running towards Jesus? It's not going to look pretty. The guy with the gruff voice is going, come on, man, just hold on to my shoulder. Just hold on my arm, let me bring you to him. And he brings him to Jesus. And Jesus asks this question. He says, what would you have me to do for you? And now's the point. What do I ask for? What do I ask for? What? See, we all assume he just go, well, I just want to see because, you know, I want to get what I got. I want you to do some stuff for me. And I just want to see. But, you know, many people, there's a whole bunch of people there. There's a whole bunch of beggars that were asking for mercy. But it was the way he asked for the presence of Jesus. He said, Son of David, have mercy on me. I believe everything I've heard about you. And I believe that you can take my life that is stuck and make it unstuck. That I can get on the trail of people who passed by my life doing well. You ever feel like people are just going by your life and they're doing well and you're not and you're stuck and you wish you could be them and you wish you could get out of it? And he thought in that moment. Jesus responded to him because he believed that he was the Messiah, the one who could do this. And so Jesus responds to that, and the whole crowd is thinking, imagine all the beggars going, yeah, Son of David, I want in, man. I want in. And he sits there, and Jesus just doesn't come and said, listen, let me put a whole bunch of money in your cup. He doesn't have a cup. He left his cup. How many of us, maybe how many times, I'm asking myself this question, that I ran up with my blanket, my cup, and said, can you just show me some mercy? And Jesus is going, man, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You want me to fill that cup so you can stay right where you're at? Just help you with what you need to get you through a week or a month or two? I got so much more than that. But this guy came with no cup. He's got no blanket, and he's standing there. What do you want from me? And he says, I want to see. I want to see. And here's the intention. When he asked what he wanted, why did he want what he asked for? Because he wanted to be unstuck, and he wanted to follow Jesus. Here's the point. You can say it like this. Lord, I want you to do something for me so you can do something through me. That's the difference. Have you ever been in a spot where you just say, Lord, I want you to do something for me. I want you to do something for me. I want you to do something for me. And I want you to do something for me. And there's not the intent that when you do it for me, it will position me to do in a place where you can do something through me. And he said, if you will do this, then I can follow him and I can move forward in life. And Jesus says, by your faith, by believing that I'm the Christ, he says, go. Now listen, he says, go and be healed. Go and be healed. So he's instantly, the Bible doesn't say, many times Jesus touched their eyes, did a lot of different things. He just says, you're healed, and immediately he can see. Can you imagine a blind guy who just got his sight in just a few seconds? And Jesus said, you've been healed, you can go now. Oh, no, I threw the blanket away. No, I threw the cup away. I'm going where you're going. I'm following. I'm moving forward. I am not going to let the problems of the past paralyze me in the present. I'm not staying here. I'm going to do what you asked me to do. I just wanted to get in this position so now I can be used by you, that you can go through me. And you know why we know that about him? Because he's called blind Bartimaeus. You know what's interesting? When you go through the Bible, Jesus healed so many people, I don't know their names. There's a lady at the well. Jesus forgives her. I don't know what her name is. There are blind guys throughout the Bible that Jesus healed, and you don't hear their names. There's crippled people who were given their legs back, and they were begin to walk, and they were healed supernaturally, and you don't know their names. But you know his name. You know why I believe, why historians believe you know his name? Because he didn't get what he just wanted. He didn't just want God to do something for him. He said, I not only want you to do something for me, but I want you to do something through me. And the reason we know his name is because he began to follow and be a disciple of Christ. And so Mark begins to pen his gospel, and he says, you guys remember Bartimaeus, right? Oh, yeah. He's the blind guy, right? He's the guy that runs around with us and does ministry with us. He's the guy that does a small group, and he's amazing, man. If you listen to go to his small group, it's packed. You can't even go. There's a waiting list to go to his small group. This guy, when you tell his story, you're crying through the whole thing, and you're thinking, my problems are like this big, his are this big, and look at him, he's moving forward. I'm stuck in life with my little problem, and I'm on that road. I just want to be like him when I grow up. And I believe that that's why we know the name of blind Bartimaeus. He says, now that you've done something for me, I want you to continue to do something through me. And can you imagine him following? It says he followed. And can you imagine him looking back at his beggar buddies? Say, guys, I got to go. I can't stay there. If you will recognize him as the son of David, you can go with me. You can go with me. You know, we all get to a place where we feel stuck in life. It may be an emotional problem, a spiritual problem, a sin problem of the past that you've decided to define you, and God says, I'm forgiving you, and I can set you free and move you forward and show mercy. You just need to show mercy yourself, and I need you to throw your cup and your cloak away. I need you to move forward. I need you to come follow me. You keep coming and asking for stuff, but I go and I bless you, and I bless you, and I bless you, and you don't. I could bless you more if you let me do stuff through you, because then you get blessed and people around you get blessed, and it goes to a whole nother level of blessing. Or I can just keep giving you pennies to take care of you, and we can limp to the end with no future, no vision. Can you turn off the light just one more time? Can you imagine being in the darkness of your situation forever? It's depressing. It really is. Here's the truth, though. This morning, there are many of you who you can say, you know what, Pastor Steve, I was there. I remember being there. But thanks be to Jesus, he forgave me. He forgave me of my sins. He died on a cross for me. Those sins don't define me. They are cast in the sea of forgetfulness, and I'm walking on the road, and I'm following Jesus. I'm going to be a blessing to everybody around me, and God's going to bless me. He's going to bless into my life, and I'm going to let it go out, and he's going to bless through me others around me. And this eternal darkness is not eternal, because Jesus is in control of that, and he turns on the lights, and we can all see. Would you turn on the lights? You know, if we go to this passage, I just want to read it. I'll tell you why this passage is so significant. Right above this passage, Jesus walks up to some really good church members. And he says, listen, I'm going to die. I'm going to die on the cross. I'm going to go to heaven. And he asks the very same question in verse 36. he's looking at John and Mark, and he says, he goes, what are you guys talking about? And they kind of talk to him, and he looks at these church members, these disciples, these followers, and he says, what do you guys want? And when he says, what do you guys want, these two guys, we're all, I call them knuckleheads, but we're all knuckleheads. We've all asked stupid questions of Jesus, right? He goes, Jesus, when you get to heaven, one of us wants to sit on the right hand, one wants to sit on the left hand. Can you set us up? When we get to heaven, hashtag kingdom seats, amen. We just kind of want a chair next to you, if I could sit, Jesus is going, you don't get it. You just don't get it. Jesus goes on to talk to him, you knuckleheads. He looked at, what do you want? And he asked the same question to the blind man, and the blind Bartimaeus said, I know what I want. I've thought about it. I just want to follow you. And when Jesus is talking in verse 36 and he tells them that, the passage goes on down, and right before it gets to blind Bartimaeus, he says, so listen, the one that serves others will be the greatest in my kingdom. They'll be the greatest. See, it's just, we don't know what we need sometimes, do we? We don't. You think you do, I think we do. Lord, if you just give me this, it'll all work out. Jesus says, listen, in my kingdom, you have to serve. You have to serve. This doesn't work well. If you just say, Lord, give me, give me, give me, and you say, Lord, don't work through me, it don't work well. He said, but if you'll start saying, Lord, give me what I need, not everything that I want. And then let me take what you've given me and serve others around me. And the question is, do you serve? Do you serve with your money? Do you? Is your money an area of your life that you say, Lord, I will show mercy to others as you have shown mercy to me? See, that's a recognition that you've given me and given me the ability to make money. If he didn't give me the ability to make money, I could make money. You can mess around and think, well, I made money because I'm good. I know what I'm doing, and it's all self-made. He could take your health away tomorrow. You could have the cup and the cloak if you want it. He gave you, it says, when you were in your mother's womb, he knit you there. He gave you the talents and abilities to even make money. So that's the mercy I've been given. And so in this moment, I have to recognize it and say, thank you for that. How do I turn around and give financially and show mercy? He doesn't ask me to give it all away. Sometimes he asks me to tithe regularly of all that I make. The Bible's real clear on that. He says there are times where I want you to give offerings. I want you to show mercy to those that you run into in needs. And there are moments throughout the Bible that he will ask you to give an extravagant offering. Not always, but he'll tell you. He'll say, go give your car away. I've done that a couple times. And he has always given me a better car. And I thought, man, I could still be stuck in that old car with my little cup out the window, hoping somebody show me mercy because it's probably broke down right now. Instead, I gave it away. God gives me a new car, and the person I give the car away, that car ran forever. It looked ugly, but it ran forever. It would have probably died on me if I'd have kept it. I'm just being honest. But because I gave it away as a gift, because God told me to a single mom, just kept going, kept going. Maybe it's your giftings. So you have a gift. Everybody in here is a 10 in some area. Meaning God gave you a gift to do something. Do you use that for him? Are you saying, Lord, I need you to help me with my stuck problem that I feel stuck in, because I need to be released from it so I can start loving people around me? If you're not careful, though, you'll say, I can't do anything until he fixes me. And God says, listen, you start doing and serving the way I ask you to, and in the process of the first step, I'll start fixing you. Don't just sit there. See, everybody that sat there on the beggar's cup sat there going, oh, I need mercy, I need mercy. The blind guy goes, get rid of the cup, get rid of the cloak, I'm running. I don't know where I'm going, but I think he's over there. I think I heard his voice. And he's falling and stumbling. He didn't just sit there saying, well, I can get up and go get my mercy from Jesus if he comes over here and heals me while I'm sitting here. He abandons everything and runs. And probably the disciples are going, what a knucklehead guy. Let's somebody grab him, get his arms so we can take him. He's not even going in the right direction. They lead him over to Jesus. Jesus goes, I like this guy. What do you want me to do for you? What do you want me to do for you? Sometimes when you ask what you want the Lord to do for you, you need to ask the question, why am I asking him to do this for me? Why do I want what I want? Lord, I need you to change my heart. I need to want what you think I need and not what I think I need. The Lord will challenge you to start serving with your money, with your gifts and talents, and your spiritual gifts. Everybody in here, if you're a child of God, you have a spiritual gift. It gets awakened in you when you become a child of God. He says when the Holy Spirit comes in, you were dead, you were born again. Your spirit comes to life by the power of the Holy Spirit, and then that spiritual gift that has inside of you comes alive. And now he says, I want you to use it. What if his ministry was to go back to all those guys that were his buddies down there at Home Depot with their cardboard signs that, dude, we got to get rid of the cardboard signs. I know what you need to do. No, I'm comfortable here. The cardboard sign works for me, and these holes in my pants work for me. I just kind of want to hang out here. No, dude, you need more than that. I was there. You don't want to stay there. I promise you, if you'll get out of this and walk and start serving the Lord and following him, he'll meet all your needs. And then one by one, we'll get rid of everybody here. Can you imagine if he went back there and he set all of those beggars free from their problems? Dude, that would be a crazy ministry. Dude, I'd throw money at that guy. I mean, if I give it to him, he sets them all free. It's like I taught them how to fish, and I don't have to give them any fish anymore because they can fish for themselves. I give him the money, and he goes help them, or I just give them one fish at a time, and then tomorrow I come by and give these guys another fish. Listen, the Lord loves you so much, more than you'll ever know. More than you will ever know. And he says, I can do exceedingly abundantly above all that you ever think or imagine or pray. So, wait a minute. My best ideas are cheap. They're just short. I mean, I'm a little offended, but okay. You do more than that. Yeah, I will set you free, but I want to bless you. I want to give you something. I want to do something for you, and then I want to do something through you. And if we're not careful, the world we live in right now, we have a lot of people who go to church that just want Jesus to do something for them. And he'll come drop something in your cup if you want. If that's what you want. You'll still be in the same spot. What if you said, Lord, I want to abandon my cup and the things I'm comfortable with, and I want to blindly just run after you and follow you. And in that process, he goes, okay, I'm going to give you sight. Get in line. Let's go. We're going to Jerusalem. It'll be your first Passover. It'll be the greatest thing you've ever experienced. I never even thought about that part. If I see all that's going to happen. And can you imagine? Would you bow your heads and close your eyes this morning? He loves you so much. He has a great plan for your life. But I will tell you this morning that we live in a generation, a culture right now within the church, and I'm not sure why, if I'm just being honest, but it's a place where we come in, we get stuff from God, and we're not serving. And there's so many different ways to serve. You can serve in the church, you can serve when we go help the homeless, you can serve when we go to Mexico and help kids in Mexico. You may have a whole unique way of serving people in our community, and we will launch you from this church to do that. But you need to serve. And you can sit there all you want and tell me, well, I got 1,000 reasons why I can't serve, and I need to get healed, and I got these issues. Nobody's going to listen to me anyways because of my past, or blah, 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 blah. It goes on, and you're stuck. And God says, I'll free you from that if you'll just let go of your cup and your cloak, and let's go forward. So, say, Lord, I want you to pray this prayer this week. Lord, I want you to do some things for me, but just as importantly, I want you to do some things through me. And I don't know what that looks like, but I want to start thinking that way. I don't want to stay a beggar. I want to be a participant. I want to be a follower. Because I want to follow you. I don't want you just to be my Santa Claus. I want to follow you. And as you just have that talk with him right now, just say, Lord, how am I serving you? And if you don't serve and you're saying, I don't even know what this looks like, just say, ask him, Lord, show me what you want me to do to start serving. Show mercy on me and let me get rid of all of the stinking thinking, put it in the past, and get excited about traveling with you. As we sing this song, if you let this be the song of your heart, Lord, I will follow you. He will honor you all the days of your life.